I just started streaming. Um, cool, cool, cool. Pog. Yo, what's up?
What's up?
Hey, let me finish ordering this Buffalo Wild Wings really quick. One sec.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, I need B-dubs.
Yo, what's the flavor, man?
I'm going lemon pepper and Caribbean jerk. I'm not
Oh,
feeling like
nice.
Giga spicy right now. You feel me?
Nice.
Let me do that, and then I gotta promo myself real fast. Drop the thing in the Oregon Discord. See if anybody wants to come hang out. And
Hmm.
then you know how it be.
Yeah.
Um, channel. How do I do this? Just this, right? Yep. There we go. Cool. And I should be able to see. Shouts to Shades of Reality, by the way. Just throwing that out there since it's up on the thing. Um, here we go. See my chat. If y'all don't know Shades of Reality, he is a TBC or he's a World of Warcraft arena streamer, which is like my other game. Here, lesson with Rundas. This is not counting into your hour. I'll just start it whenever I actually start the lesson.
Okay.
Um, and then let's drop in here too. Fuck it. It's Rundus, right?
AS.
Oh, AS. All right.
Yeah.
Lesson with Rundas. Cool. And then, do you want to drop your you want to drop your VODs in our chat really quick?
Yeah.
Word, word, word. And then I'll start streaming to you once I have the thing up.
Here's
Maybe I
the.
just stream it in my desktop too. Fuck it. Kind of over dealing with
I got the Slippy files, but
screens.
that's fine.
Yeah, no, that works totally fine.
Alright.
It's you versus Yams, right?
Yeah.
Word, word. All right. Oh wow, you even like labeled them out. Shit. You went above and beyond.
Yeah. Games 2 and 3 are like practically identical, and I'm just like, I should at least label it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Was this in tournament or was this
Yeah.
Oh,
It was at
okay.
Rumble.
Oh, it's at Rumble in the dungeon. Oh, you got
Yeah.
like tournament Okay, that's the best one to get. Um, all right. Then I gotta find my Slippy VOD library really quick. I need to just like make a lesson one, honestly, at some point. Oh, well, I just have one for Kiwis. Maybe I can just drag and drop it in there once Slippy decides to stop waiting forever. And I'm also recording this, so if you want to like watch it back later and you're like, um, trying to retouch on some things,
Yeah.
it'll be
I,
on my YouTube and stuff too. At least
I
according to
watched
OBS, I am. You watch what?
I watched the Kiwi VOD, the Marth Puff one.
Word. What'd you think of it?
I need to rewatch it.
Word.
But like a lot of stuff that is seems fairly like straightforward to figure out, but to me, I'm just like, oh, well, huh, cool.
Yeah, but Puff is kind of one of those matchups where you there's a lot of how do I explain? You like go into playing it and like it's confusing and weird and then you think about it and you're like, "Oh, yeah, that does seem like how you play it." And then you try to do it and you get fucking rested.
Yeah.
So it's kind of but there's honestly like a lot of like random little desktop OneDrive Kiwi. Okay. There's honestly like a bunch of little like mix-ups that you kind of really don't like see as much that are not as obvious in it too. Like little timing mix-ups and stuff like that. And then now I'm gonna have to refresh. It's gonna take forever. Okay, cool. And are you red or blue? You play red,
Red.
right? Okay, yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say I thought you played red. Word, word, word. And then this is game one.
Yeah.
Game one. Okay, you made this
Game one.
fucking easy, bro. All right. Yeah. I'm guessing that you do better in game one than you do in.
100%.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
typically how it goes. That's typically how it goes. Damn, dude. I've never felt the need for three monitors before in my life, but like every time I stream, I'm like, shit, I need three monitors.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
two's really cool, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, one more would be nice.
Yep. All right, word. So I'm gonna just do this. Cool. And then you can see all this shit, right? Does it look
Yeah, I
like
see it
shit?
slipping.
Yeah, it kind of looks like shit, but that's okay. All right, word. So this is standard. Oh, that was you. Good. um, as you play like better and better players, like you'll how do I explain? This is like the most standard Marth opening. I do it like almost every time game one on somebody, but certain people will really cheese you for it. Like I remember when Jiffy when wobbling was legal, he would like do some weird shield drop thing and then fucking wobble me if I did this. So I stopped doing it against him, but I'm not worried about that anymore. That's really good. Oh wow. Okay. Oof.
Yeah, that
Oh,
flip
you lost your
there.
jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you do here? Well, that's honestly solid. Okay, I'm gonna go
Yeah, that.
back and rewatch this one more time. Just kind of like break it down. I really like this dash dance grab for you, and I really like the fact that you didn't just like rip anything trying to punish him immediately. Um, I notice a lot of Mars in Oregon, they'll get this grab and then like it's instantly like praying for F smash. I really appreciate the fact that you went for a tech chase. One thing I will say though is that when you tech chase Marth in the Ditto, you really, really don't want to wave dash out of the throw.
Okay.
And the reason why you don't want to wave dash out of the throw is, so let's see, you get the wave dash. So when you wave dash out of the throw, it A, makes this really, really, really hard to cover. And B, it also throws away any punish that you could potentially get on DIN. So you actually have to dash up to where he's going and like punish him from there. And you also want to make sure to be like kind of on top of him whenever you go for this. Like, how do I explain? Like, let's see where you wave dash. So you wave dash down, but like if he techs in place, you can't grab it. Like you're way too far away. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just nitpicky stuff. I like this fair. Do you know about this right here? Like why you got hit?
Let's see here. I mean, I
Do
went
you?
for a forward smash.
Yeah, but it's a little more like. Do you know about this fair?
Hmm.
Cause Yam spams this and so do I. But I also think that we're like the only two Mars in the state that do it.
Let's see.
So when Marth is on the ledge, this is his only fully invincible option or like his only fully invincible attack from the ledge. He actually did it late because you forward smashed early and he was able to whiff punish with it. But even if you had like tried to do this and he did this instantly, the forward smash would have went through the forward air and you would have gotten forward aired.
Mm.
And if you don't do this, I highly suggest that you practice it because it is very, very good. Because essentially, it's whiff punishable, but they land before you can punish them really because they're invincible, and then the forwarder is gone. They're in landing lag. So how do I explain? So he's essentially guaranteed to get on stage and have his jump, but you can punish it still, but you have to go and then get an edge guard while he has his double jump, if that makes sense. I don't mind this. Where is your jump? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, he got the back air.
Yeah.
This is something really careful, like something you really, really need to be careful about. Oh, what the hell? In the Ditto, specifically, it's like less relevant against other characters, but it's still relevant. This type of side B double jump up here is really, really rough. Like, every really good Marth, when they play a Marth in pools or something, is like, oh, does he give this to me? And that's why you get backered without him even, like, having to read you or anything. Because it's, like, one of those really standard, like, I'm going to, like, if they do this, I am going to kill them. And, like, how do I explain? It's like kind of one of those like super strong meta options to like make it out of pools and win dittos in pools to punish, if that makes sense. Um, I think that the mentality with your recovery kind of has to be to get around here, ideally. Because actually, double jumping to the ledge is really hard to cover for Marth. Like, he has to super commit to it or go for a timing read. Because he either has to run off the stage and forward air you, in which if he's wrong he gets reversaled in the Marthido, which is fucked. And also, if he is the other option is that he does a downer, like here, when you're trying to double jump. But if he gets the timing wrong, you just get back to ledge and it didn't matter. But yeah, this was unfortunate. You got hella battlefielded. But I'm just essentially saying that, like, you should have been dead there anyways, and kind of a good idea is to, like, when you're recovering from up here, instead of taking this angle, to try to take this angle, if that makes sense. Can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you try to get, like, away from the hitboxes here, just outside of it, and then get down here, it helps a lot. Especially against Fox, too. Even when you're below the ledge, you're, like, kind of chilling. God, that's so unfortunate. That's, like... What do you do here? Nice, nice. I want to see this one more time. Oh, he blows this double jump real early. Yeah, no, that's totally fine. A suggestion I would make is that if they can't double jump to the ledge, like you see, Yams kind of actually takes the angle that I'm talking about where he comes around and then goes back up. Is if they can't double jump to the ledge, you don't need to be grabbing it. And if they can double jump to the ledge, that's when you need to grab it. Because that's like that's the safe way, quote unquote, in the Ditto to like kind of guard it, is to make them drop below the ledge to the point that they can't like double jump to it anymore. But it ends up being fine. Do you know about this, where they like wiggle out and grab the ledge?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so off of Marth's down throw, Falcon can do this as well. You can actually wiggle, like, you can wiggle your stick and grab the ledge before they can hit you with F smash. If you had F smashed instantly here, he would have grabbed the ledge and your F smash would have just like went over the top of him. And this is something to be very aware of off of down throw, because you can do this as well. You can really abuse this, like, because it's another one of those like early meta things where like if you get the down throw, you really want to tipper them, and if you do this, there's like an entire level of Marth that you just like, their punish game is now gone. Like, if that makes sense. Sechi has a video on it. It's honestly like really not that hard. You just hold it and wiggle out and grab the ledge. I even think, your DI is like dependent on how to get close to the ledge, if that makes sense. And then he goes for the invincible fair again. And now you're all the way backed up over here. It's a rough spot to be in. I like your tech chases. I like that you're going for it. Yeah, you see how Yams doesn't wave dash to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a huge thing. Did you do it here? I'm curious. Yeah, you did. But you ended up getting it anyways. And the reason why he doesn't wave dash is that if you were to DI in, um, he could either grab you or nair. And this is like this is one of those things that, how do I explain? This is like why I really don't like F throw tipper, is because it forgoes the punish on tags because of this situation, right? Like if you F throw tipper here and you tech, you get nothing, right? So, and all the other options lead into it as well. Like if you were to DI in, he could nair tipper you. So you end up getting tech chased. Downer. Down throw is generally fine there, but I typically don't love it. I kind of go back and forth on it a lot. That was a good recovery. You notice how he was like fully actionable, but if he wanted to punish you, he had to like really hard commit to this. Right, like look. Oh, or he missed a wave dash. Alright, whatever. But look at this again. He's going for the same like read on double jump side B, and you end up hitting a forward air and getting like, I mean, I wouldn't say a reversal, but kind of a reversal off of it. Yeah. It's just like one of those things to be very aware of, and Silent Wolf has talked about this in the past as well, where so there's like a general consensus of like habits that are super super common amongst characters specifically in specific matchups, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is like a huge one for Marth, is like if you fight a Marth, like one of the first checks that you do is like, do they double jump side B up here? And he tried to go forward again. That's why you got a reversal off of him. Do you have any questions so far? Am I going too fast or anything?
Nah, you're good.
Okay, weird.
I've been taking some notes as well.
Okay,
So,
cool. And this is the type of thing that it's kind of weird because so in this matchup, right, there is like flowchart punishes, but a lot of the time your punish game in this matchup needs to be very like 1 2 3 done on your combos, because if they DI them correctly, they just get out. Uh, and this type of punish is the sort of thing that you can really abuse and like just kind of roll over a whole level of player. If you start finding more and more of these habits that you'll see at low level, where you're like, oh, okay, he did the double jump side B, and then the next one's like, oh, they double jump to the ledge every time, or they double jump out of my up throw every time, or something like that, right? Like that sort of thing is how you like kind of make a certain skill level of player easier for yourself so that you can get more matches like this, if that makes sense.
mm-hmm.
Whatever, forward smash. I want to like look over this down tilt really closely. I think you just mistimed it. The F smash was honestly fine. Actually, I want to see it really quick. Yeah, no, it was honestly fine. You just didn't get it. Oh yeah, you were just like slightly late. That's okay. That isn't the type of thing to trip over. It's just going to happen. Like combos are going to be dropped, and you need to forgive yourself for it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask, what what else do you do in your free time besides play Melee? Like, do you play any computer games or anything?
Yeah.
Okay. I highly, highly suggest getting a small CRT and putting it on your desk. It's actually huge. And the reason why is because you can kind of just put Uncle Punch on there and, like, sort of do, like, fuck around practice a lot. Like, if you, like, for me, I play Arena, right? I play WoW. And the queue times are typically really long. And when I'm waiting in queue, I'll just like bullshit around in practice and melee, and it honestly like makes your tech like it doesn't necessarily make your tech skill better, but what you'll notice happening is that that feeling of like, oh my god, I'm playing hot right now will happen like way more often. And
Mm.
you'll like end up hitting a lot of things that you don't really think about. Personally, I'm not like a huge fan of like practice routines. I feel like they're like clunky and rigid and kind of end up like hurting more than they help. But just like running over the basics. And another thing to keep in mind is that like melee in itself with how the game functions is closer to practicing like a martial art than it is like skateboarding, right? Like
Mm.
you don't need to try to like tray flip on Marth or do like, like 15,000 no impact land flashy thing, double moonwalk, whatever. You just need to be like really consistent at the basics so
Yep.
that things like, randomly missing a wave dash or like accidentally drifting in on your nair or accidentally full hopping and getting tippered when you meant to short hop and now you're dead happen less. It's like, because the feeling that I get from your Marth is I actually like really appreciate that you're going for the good stuff and the hard things and the things that work at a higher level, but it also feels like clunky and unfluid because it feels like you don't have like enough control over him. And I've been actually struggling with this as well. Is that I've felt like quite clunky, but like, it's just a bunch of little things where you like kind of see spots that you're like either being slow or like accidentally miss something, and it just like will start going away like more and more as you play more and as you fuck around in practice and stuff like that.
Yeah. I have a small CRT, but it would just standard, just Dolphin be fine. I don't really have that much room to put a small CRT on my desk.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, totally. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like that's how I do. I have a really
Yeah.
tiny PVM and it's like goated for this.
Oh shit.
Yeah. um like I don't I'm how do I explain? You don't need to practice on a CRT. It isn't like that big of a thing, but it's just like the type of like unstructured like like general practice things that are like really important, and you'll kind of like as you play you'll get a feeling for what you need to practice, right? Like I don't feel like I need to be like, okay, you need to wave dash back and forth across FD 500 times in a row and
Yeah.
practice your chain grabs for 15 minutes a day and yada yada yada. I don't think that sort of thing, like, it's helpful for like short-term gains, but I don't find it as useful because a lot of times like it's just like a general overall sense of comfort that you need in your
Mm.
character, if that makes sense. That's
Yeah.
really really important and like kind of can't be overstated or understated. I actually really liked how you played out the Ditto though in general. Another suggestion I'd make is like occasionally going for up throw. Like you
Up
notice
throw. Yeah.
how so where up throw is good is in the spots where if you throw them off the stage they grab the ledge. And
Mm.
that spot isn't bad for you. It's actually a really advantageous position because once you get them on the ledge, they have to first get off the ledge and then win a mix up to get out of the corner and then win the mix up to get in center stage again. However, if you up throw them and they DI like that, it it is like the perfect DI to hit tipper forward air. And you can lean them together or link them together like how you did on Battlefield.
So thought process in going into these next two games were okay. What worked that previous game? I got tipper on platform, and I'm like, what makes that easier for myself? Yoshi's, and that'll get lead to earlier conversion to it, and then also I just get owned.
Yeah,
But
I
like that's
mean,
my thought process.
I think counter picking Yoshi's is fine. It is like it is one of those things where like if you feel like the other Marth is better than you, like it's a really good choice, and like obviously Yams is like very very good, right? Like not a diss, but Yams is really really good, and
Very good.
I think that it's like not a terrible choice. A thing that I've been playing around with is as far as counter picking in the Ditto, is that I think that it's good to have a general stage that you just kind of like and go there. And you'll notice that, how do I explain? So as you counterpick it more and more, it'll start being like more comfortable, and you'll end up like typically being more comfortable than the other Marth, right? And it doesn't even matter what the stage is, but you have to have like it's a really good way about going about it. Like you'll notice like Hacks in the Fox Ditto like picks Battlefield repeatedly, right? That's just his stage. He's like, fuck it, we're just going Battlefield every time. I don't want to think about it, and then like he's really comfortable there. And I think that type of thing in the Ditto is also really good. It's like just another way to think about it. And then kind of how you can go about it is uh, so for me it's FOD. I just like go FOD the Marth Ditto typically. And there's a certain type of Marth that is like really really good on FOD. And if they're more that than I am, I'll end up going somewhere else. Whoa, stream PR? What? Okay, whatever. Do you know the timer?
Uh, Vaguely.
Yeah, I mean, same.
I'm like, I don't know super specifics, but kind of just like it's like what, even left side, odd right.
Yeah, and I hate it that it's that way because my brain thinks of it the other way.
I'm also the same. I'm just like,
It's like obviously even would be on the right side. Why wouldn't it be?
yeah.
Yeah, see, this is the dare. Like, and there's like a bunch of little ways to, God damn it, this person. There's a bunch of little ways to like mix it up and make it tricky. But he went for it here and ended up not hitting it. And that's why the double jump to the ledge is like really powerful. And then also, this is another thing to take note of. The nice thing about watching over the Ditto is you can kind of look at what the other guy is doing too and get like an idea of like, get some ideas from it. So, where is it? Here we go. We have a juggle situation, and I want you to like notice how he kind of positions himself. He's like constantly positioning himself to be away from forward air, right? Like, so whenever you're in this spot and they can't fair you, or you're directly below them or directly behind them, it's very, very good because your option to deal with this is downer, and that just like does not have the same amount of priority as like the low hitbox of forward air does. And look, he drops below the platform, you hit the platform, and then he doesn't get the edge guard, but he memes you. Another thing that's super important with this matchup is ledge trapping. You can honestly, like, AP is very, very good at this, and this is why he gets a lot of wins in the Marthido, is you can honestly, like, kind of forego a lot of fundamental stuff by just, like, being really, really good at ledge trapping. And the general idea of it is that the most, here we go. Okay. So the most threatening thing that Marth can hit you from the ledge is that forward air that I talked about earlier. And it's the reason why I brought it up is A, because you can do it and get off the ledge a lot of the time. And there are certain characters that just can't fuck with it. Like Falco gets owned by that forward air. And if you hit that forward air on Falco, you get like forward air from the ledge, grab, down throw, down tilt, and he's dead. But the reason why it's really important is because once you start baiting out the forward air, you end up getting into a spot that's like very flowchartable. Because you can kind of dash dance like right here, bait out the fair, and then just like grab everything. Or forward air the tournament winner, but like we don't even need to think about that because nobody's doing that on purpose. So you can kind of like grab everything and repeat this spot forever. And honestly, like if we pull up, there's like ancient VODs of people doing this, and it's before this forward air was like popular, right? But like on God, you'll see. Here, let me just pull this up because it's hilarious.
You know, just cheap playing, not cheap, but
This is Ken versus Azen in 2006. Right? And just watch like Ken's game plan and Azen's game plan. Look, they're just like, this was when F throw tipper was very, very common, except for at like very high level. And it's just like, okay, he gets him to the ledge. Cool. Let's put him back on the ledge. Okay, he's on the ledge. How do I get him back to the ledge? He F throws. He's not getting a combo. And then it's just like a constant putting them repeatedly in this positional situation where they're very limited and you can just like kind of repeat it until eventually you get like a nasty tipper or something on something. Look, I mean, it's 2006 and it's the same strat. Like this is ancient like 20-year-old Marth knowledge that is still applicable today. And it's like something that you can really abuse too, and I'm sure that you'll see Yams do it. And look, he got the tipper. He found the spot, he execution tested you, and you kind of want to swap between either going for the repeated throwing them off stage grab thing, doing up throw, or like so kind of how you think about it is there's the first part where you're trying to find a way to grab them and throw them back on the ledge, and then you can also choose to execution test their option with tipper or down tilt. And then the next part of it is you can also, if you get like the scent, like that gut feeling of like, okay, they're DIing this way every time, then you up throw them, and then you get the fair strings off the stage. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, like that could have been a grab there, for instance. Yep, this is good. Great. Yeah, I feel like you weren't aware of this forward air, and he ends up getting out of this situation repeatedly because of it. And being aware of this forward air is huge because you can A, abuse it, and B, like basically own them for doing it like repeatedly. And it's also something that it's a pretty tight timing to get like the actually invincible one. Because if you look at this, he has to come up forward air, and then you have to hit a little fastball here to land on the stage before you get hit. So that's one of the things that you can choose to like try to execution test. Nah, he's trying to be cool. Another thing too is that there are certain matchups where long dash dances are very good. This is not one of those matchups. You kind of want to do like a really like tight one, but not like super tight. Like you kind of want to like, here, I'll just boot up my Slippy really quick actually. And then let me make sure I don't get wasabi'd. Audio settings, cool. And I actually saw you doing this a lot more in game one, and I think it's kind of why you weren't getting smothered as much, because a huge part of this matchup is overshooting them and like making it so dash back feels uncomfortable for them to go for. On a scale from Axe to PPMD, PPMD is like the perfect example of it. But you don't want, what I'm saying that you don't want to do is like a zoo dash dance where you where you like don't have like the thing, the dust or whatever. You can see my Slippy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like this type of dash dance where it's like tight, but like you're still a little ambiguous, because then you have like the access to go back like this, but with a much less likelihood of them doing like this sort of number to you where they end up weight dash forward down tilting you, and it just like pushes you to the corner repeatedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is one of those things where it's like really powerful, where if you hit this down tilt, like the power of it is not even the power of it isn't even like what you get off the down tilt or anything. It's just like the positional advantage and the fact that it forces their dash dance back more for it being too long. And this is also how you get like the crazy dash attack where they dash away and you dash attack them and it leads into like a super juicy combo. I'm sure you've seen it.
Mm.
Like, here, I'll just make it Marth really quick. It's like if you see them doing the really long dash dance, this is how you get it. Where view options, behavior, recording, save positions. Yeah, like so if I'm this Marth and I'm doing this dash dance, right, where it's like really long, and I play it back, and I'll wait till I mess it up. Okay. That one, where they end up dashing back and you get like this super juicy one, like that's how you end up getting it to you. So your opponent having like a elongated dash dance is something that you can really, really abuse in this matchup by doing the down tilt and by doing the dash attack. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, this is the type of spot that like is going to be only mitigated through like a general sense of comfort with your character, right? Where you land on the platform and you like turn around in forward air and like it could have been tighter, you could have like done something that probably like fallen through it or something like that. Okay. Martha to tipper lol. Or like that, right? Where you like accidentally full hop. Like this type of thing is like the type of thing that starts getting, it just like kind of starts going away as the more you solo practice, and it's kind of the type of thing why that's important, if that makes sense. It's like it's going to happen forever, but cutting them down is super important, right? Like even Yams, he's like 3 in the state or something, and you saw him literally like miss a punish on you because he missed his wave dash and you got back to stage and hit him on the first game. Oh, you did the fair. Yeah, see, all this was really good until you nared in.
Yeah, that's from like Rumble into onwards. I was like just watching stuff and thinking to when we played friendlies once. You were just like, general idea is Nair is more defensive, Fair is more offensive.
Yeah, that's super important.
And that's something I'm trying to break the habit of just the Nair approach.
Oh, trust me, me too.
Okay.
it's one of those things where it just feels juicy, and also like how do I explain? It's actually like really hard while you're dash dancing to get nairs in place. Like you kind of got to pivot or shield stop or something, and that's
Yeah.
like that's one of the things I've really tried to focus on while I'm solo practicing personally to like kind of beat out that habit of accidentally like getting, because I know in my brain that it's not a good option, right? But it's one of the
Mhm.
things that I've been trying to like beat out of myself, because a lot of the times when I get drift in nairs and I get shield grabbed, it's from me um it's from me like slightly messing something up. And that's like the type I've been just like dash dance pivot nair, dash dance shield stop nair, dash dance drift in, drift back nair. Like that whole sort of sequence is like kind of what I've been doing. It's just like trying to make sure that no matter what I'm doing in my movement, that I can like pop out a nair at any point in time that's not like full drift in on accident. Why is it not letting me? Oh, it's because of this. Yeah. And also, I don't know if you know about this, but it's another thing that you can kind of keep in mind. Yeah, dash, jump, and play snare like this. But so when you dash forward, you can jump back, and it'll like halt your momentum for a second. But you have to
Mhm.
get the back jump. Like this is me. I'm like doing dash forward, jump back, right? Like this. And this is a way to get, it's one of the ways to get like a nair where you take ground but you don't drift in, right? Because like doing this sort of nair where you aren't actually like doing this, but you're doing this, where that you'll see Zane do a lot, is actually really strong. It's just this nair where you like shoot across the stage like your fox. That
Yeah.
is like super 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 unsafe. So doing this like dash forward, jump back, drift, and play snare is really, really powerful as Marth. You can actually do it with forward air too, to like kind of take some space and cut off their stage. And it's like one of the ways you can approach, if that makes sense. It's just like kind of technically hard to do it. It's really easy to do it with fair. So if you want to practice like doing like the dash jump back, it's like an easy way to start, but it's specifically hard to do it with nair because you have to dash forward and then jump back and then let go and hit the nair in place. Let me think of anything else. Do you have any questions on the lesson so far?
No. I'm just taking in as much as I can.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I understand that. Do you have any like, so no questions, comments, concerns? Do you have another VOD that you want to go over really fast by any chance?
Uh,
Because we got a little
I
bit of
have
time left, and a lot of this was like, I know that you want to work on your punish game, and the Martha is like kind of a hard one to like really break down like very basic things, because there's not a lot of that situation that happens. A lot of times it's like wibbly wobbly meta stuff because you don't actually have a combo.
yeah. Here, let me. I have a friendly I played against Aura. He was going Fox.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Let me find that real quick. I think this is it. That should be it.
Can you just, is there a button to pop open this file? No. It's a tragedy. Okay.
Unfortunate.
Desktop. I just need to rename this like lesson VODs or some shit. Okay, and then I would go here, hit refresh. There we go. Rundas. Okay, so thing 1, and you do it twice. If Fox is below 20, don't throw him on a platform at all.
Okay.
It's really, really rough because up tilt, or up air doesn't knock down, and up tilt can be like teched, so it makes it really rough. Like they can option select dealing with all your things, and you just kind of have to RTC them. But if you get this grab in the corner, you get the down throw stuff, like the down throw RTC, which is really easy if they're in this spot in particular.
Okay.
Because, like, look, he techs before you can even, like, jump up air him. And it wouldn't have been tip air, so he can hold it down forever. And then another general thing is, like, there's nothing wrong with going for up tilt, but a lot of the times up air is better. Because there's a lot of spots that you can do, this sort of up air that covers everything, where you short hop and then you fast fall and you either late up air their tech roll, or you like early up air. Sorry, you short hop and then you either fast fall and early up air their tech and place miss tech, or you wait and like late up air their tech rolls. Have you been getting slid off a lot on the platforms when you go for it? Is that why you're doing the up tilts?
I think I'm anticipating it more than anything.
Yeah, that makes sense. And like, there's honestly like kind of nothing wrong with that, but like tech chasing with up tilt is specifically kind of hard, but it's doable. Whereas the up air, it comes out much earlier, so you can actually get like a lot more. You can get a lot more like more reactionary punishes, if that makes sense. Another thing is that generally fairing them this way into the stage is like not great. If you can fair them this way, it's fine, but fairing them this way is generally not great because of like this sort of situation that happens here. Okay, if Fox is invincible, go to the ledge or light shield on the side plat.
Okay.
You are not escaping him on the stage. Like, no matter how good your dash dance is, no matter how PPMD cracked you are, he is just faster than you, and he's invincible, so he doesn't care, right? So, you either go to the ledge and you plank it out. What I like to do is I like to kind of take a mental note on where they spawn. Because, like, you know how on FD, depending on their port, they can spawn, like, all the way to the left or right side of the stage?
Mm-hmm.
That's like an important thing to take note of. Because if you go to the other side, then they have to run across the whole side of the stage and burn a bunch of invulnerability. The other option is to light shield on the platform, which Fox doesn't really have a great answer to, and neither does Falco. And all this stuff applies to Falco too. And the reason for that is that, so if you go on the top plat, right, and you light shield like how Fox is doing the Ditto, he can drop down most of the time and just start pressure on you while he's invincible. But if you're on the side plat, he either has to take this arc, which is really reactable and you shield drop, or he takes this arc, which is also really reactable, and you can like shield drop or wave dash off or just sit in your light shield and he has to attack it and do like, a lot of the times he'll end up pushing you off if he attacks it. There's like very specific like against light shield pressure that they get knowledge checked on by you doing this sort of thing to not get pushed off the platform, and so it's very, very good to do that. Oh, this is fine. So another thing to be aware of is that like, so if you grab them here in this spot,
Mm-hmm.
and you up throw them on the platform, you're like chilling and you can hit them with whatever you want. But if you grab them here, it's really awkward, and you have to also practice like your punishes from this position as well, because this spot is awkward for every character in the game when they're like throwing a character. Like she gets this spot versus Marth a lot, where they're not sure if they're gonna land on the plat. They can tech roll all the way over here. There's a bunch of weird shit that can happen, and you can forego this in a few ways. You can either go for a tech chase, or you can go for up throw into like wave dash back up tilt, or up throw, and then Zane does this a lot at very early percents where he'll, and once again it's like you want to start doing all this stuff after 20, because that's when it's technically 21, but 20 is where like up air, forward air, all that shit, all the good shit starts knocking down. So the platforms become like a much more like viable strategy for you to start getting like real tech chases on him up here to get started on like your punish. But so what Zane does a lot of the time is he'll up throw here, and then you'll see him kind of tech in this spot to make it awkward for you, and he'll dash and either fair tech in place like this to send them off the stage, or he'll late up air the rolls. I don't know if you know about how to deal with slide off, but I'm not really seeing that happen very much right now, and it's a thing that we can go into as well. You also don't use CC very much.
I definitely don't, and that's
Yeah,
something I take a note of, which is I'm just attempting to implement that. Because for me, trying to practice that, I'm trying like when I'll just like practice tech chasing, and so I'm trying to CC during that, because then I'm just like, oh, I'm getting owned by get up all the time. So I'm like, okay, how do I prevent that?
Yeah.
CC, and I'm like, I gotta practice it.
So, do you know about the difference between CC and ASDI down? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, kinda, yeah.
Okay. Well, the generalization that you need to know is A, true CC lasts way longer, and B, you can ASDI down while in moves. And
Yeah,
that's the huge thing. So, kind of generally, when you're in lag from a move, you want to be holding down and be ready to ASDI down shield grab them. And so that, do you know how to like CC grab? It's okay if you don't. I can just show you really quick.
Yeah. I mean, my first thought was CC, and then you still have to wait like a bit, kinda.
No, you don't.
You can just do it instant. I mean, that
So-
makes sense, but
So here's how it
Okay.
works. Can I go into reversal training actually? Reversal training. So here we are. And then I can make Fox do. Can I make him do Nair? Yeah. Okay. So you'll notice that if I'm holding down like this, and then I hit Z, I get down tilt. And this is the thing where you're saying that you need to wait. Is that you get down tilt if you're holding down and pressing Z, right? So there's two ways to mitigate this. You can either... Can I make him go further away from me? There we go. So the two ways to mitigate this is you either JC grab or you shield grab. And you notice how like if I go for the shield grab, you can get it to the point where like the shield doesn't even come up if you do it perfectly. Right? So if I make him go closer to me, like that, I shield grab him. That was bad timing. And you can kind of just mash it out too. I'm being shit. Oh, it's because I'm getting soccer angled. Yeah, there you go. So generally, how you should be thinking about this is if you don't have to dash, you just want to ASDI down shield grab. And if you do have to dash, you want to dash JC, which is significantly harder. So I would just start off by trying to get CC shield grab on things, right? Because there's a lot of spots in this VOD where he does nairs that he was technically not allowed to do. Essentially, that you could have just like gotten a free grab on him for by simply just like holding down your lag, right? Like here, if you were holding down there, he just gets grabbed instead of getting this combo on you, and there you could have gotten it as well.
Okay.
So like generally, if you're in lag and you see Fox flying at you, it's just a good time to hold down. I like that dare a lot. Oh, this is another thing that you can practice. Do you wave dash out of shield with one trigger or two?
I think just one.
It is significantly more comfortable to me to do it with two. And like
Yeah.
I did it with one for years. And I actually have a weirdly hard time like trying to shield with R because I do everything with L.
Yeah.
But if you
I'm the same.
if you make that switch, you'll end up getting a lot of like little shield scramble situations like this where he's like behind you and you try to grab him because it's like the most comfortable thing to do, where you would just wait that shot and get out of it for free.
Yeah. I'm trying to use my R for power shielding, as in trying to make an attempt to not use my L for everything.
Yeah, that's how I do it too, and I would just get used to shielding with R. Yeah, he is literally just abusing the fact that you're not ASDI downing and just spamming nair at you because he can. Let me look over this combo again really fast because he killed him. This is huge. Okay, so do you know about the late up air and the things with the roll frames?
No.
Okay, because you end up actually doing it unintentionally here. He was trying to slide this off. That's why he flew this way. So all you need to know is that in the last 4 frames of Fox and Falco's tech roll animation, you know what slide off is, yeah?
Yeah.
So in the last 4 frames of Fox and Falco's tech roll animation, their ECB is technically not on the platform. It is like ever so slightly off the platform and they're floating in midair. What this means is they can't slide off in the last 4 frames. And there is if you're in the Marth save state Discord, there is a save state where Fox you up throw Fox and then he tries to slide off, and you can practice doing this really delayed up air that you just did, where he can't slide it off and he'll pop up. And it should be like the juice of your punish game, essentially, because how the meta ended up shifting around this up air is that at first Marth did this up air and Fox got owned, right? The normal up air where you just up air him and it doesn't matter, he got owned, right? And then Fox just started sliding it off and up air didn't work anymore. And then it was really, really, really hard to try to kill Fox on the platform. And you really just wanted to generally avoid it. And then Marth players figured out how to do this up air on the last 4 frames of Fox's tech animation, and like up air just suddenly worked again. You gotta just destroy Fox on the platform, and it wasn't a bad thing to throw him up there anymore. Even if they okay, so there is to answer the question in chat. There is a C-stick notch that Fox and Falco can use to make sure that they get the up air. However, the angle changes depending on a bunch of different things, and they have to angle their C-stick in different ways depending on what part of the up air you hit, depending on what frame in the tech animation it is, and depending on where they are on the platform, that they have to think about all this extra bullshit. But for the Marth player, all you have to do is hit the up air late. So it's dope. You don't even have to think about all this shit. All you have to think about is, can I hit the up air on the last 4 frames so I can pop him up and get real combos started. I can send you the save state, or I can send you the save state Discord or whatever, but it's all in there. And there's one on Pokies, there's one on Battlefield, and there's one on Dreamland. So you can get it like kind of everywhere. And if you start hitting that up air and you get really comfortable tech chasing him on the platforms, which is actually where you're dropping most of your combos, you will kill Fox like significantly more. Like significantly once you get more comfortable doing this. Because I imagine if I like told you to like, if I just like gave you a random Fox CPU and I told you to just like kill him on FD, you'd like do it like 6 out of 10 times or something. Which is why like once you get like the normal standard, like he's at the juicy percent combos going, you're just owning him. But it's all these little awkward spots that you need to hash out in order to be able to get it more consistently. And this is where tech chasing is also useful. This is where going for that up air is useful. This is where getting comfortable like in the weird spots where you're trying to up throw him is really good. Here, by the way, you can just down air the stage. It's actually horse shit for Fox. So, let me see where you get. Well, obviously you could have dared that, but you get this jab. If you do short hop down air on, this is Pokemon and Battlefield only. If you do short hop down air, your down air will go here, and he will not even reach the platform to be able to tech it. And you can do that when he's like all the way down in Africa down here and trying to up me up. It's literally like bullshit for him. Like you just should kill him by down airing him in this spot like very significantly, or very consistently. And if you whiff the down air, and like let's say Fox is like slightly further out here more than you thought he would be, and you go for this down air and he whiffs it and he goes up and like tries to grab the ledge, you leave lag and you can jab him and reset the position again, and then he'll most likely be in a worse spot and you could just do it again. But it's like specifically Pokemon and specifically Pokemon and Battlefield because of how the ledge is. On all the other stages, you kind of just have to counter. There's like optimal ways to do it where you jump to pull Marth's foot up and all this other shit. Or like down tilt it or go for mix ups like this where you F smash. But on these stages, you can really just like kill him at nothing when he's up being in that spot. Oh, did you win? God damn. Pog.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We played like 50 games. I won twice. That second game was him SDing like 3 times. It didn't count.
Hell yeah. We love to see it.
I feel good about.
We love to see it. Yeah. So a lot of getting your punish better on Fox specifically is, this is how I like to go about it. I think about the spots that I drop combos a lot. And this is like something I look over when I watch a VOD of myself, right? And this is like the type of like teaching a man to fish sort of bit, right? Where when I watch my own VODs, I look for any spot that I drop a combo more than once. And then it's a lot of comboing in this game, while it is like technical and hard and there's reactions and blah 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 blah. A lot of it too is having a game plan hashed out in every single sort of scenario. I don't know if you've ever read Lod's Improvement Guide. There's an audiobook version of it on YouTube for free.
I have many times just listened to it while in bed and fallen asleep to it on loop.
That's badass. You know how he
I don't know.
talks about like all of the things that you need to take in consideration for how you combo Fox's Peach? Where he's like, your position on the stage matters, his percentage matters, the stage matters,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
blah blah
like
blah
it's
blah
all
blah.
like A, B, X, A, like all
Yeah,
that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, that's something to take into account as Marth against him as well, because all that shit will matter, right? And generally, what I like to do is I watch my VOD and I watch where I drop a combo more than once, especially if it happens in the same game. And what I'll do is you can practice it, which is huge, right? You can practice trying to combo Fox in that spot specifically and get the reactions down. But the other thing you can do is you can watch Zane, which or whoever. But I mean, for me, it's Zane. I just watch Zane for everything.
Hmm.
You watch Zane and you look at what Zane does in that spot, and you try to find spots in the VODs where it happens, right? Like, let's say, let's say here. Where's my mouse? Oh my god. Right, like here where you drop where's the up tilt spot? Let me find that really quick. Looking for, it's right here. Yeah. Here where you get this up tilt and you grab him and he rolls over this way and it's like kind of awkward. For me, what I would do is I would just watch Zane fight foxes and kind of turn my brain off. Not go into analyzation mode like I am here and just be like, oh, cool, I'm watching Zane own a fox. And then once I see this spot pop up where I saw myself drop my combo repeatedly, I'm like, okay, now it's time to pay attention. And then I go and I try to mentally figure out what his game plan is in the situation. And then you'll see him kind of, like, especially if it's like a mix up and it pops up a couple of times, then you'll kind of get an idea of how it works and then be able to practice that yourself, right? So you can kind of like, uh, what's it called? You can kind of like have a plan to start like deleting spots that are uncomfortable in your punish game and then hashing it all out so that you're more and more and more consistent. And this is a thing that never stops. Right? Like this is like this is a thing that like you will be doing forever and you could spend your entire life until you die on trying to figure this out, right? But it's like why melee is great is because there's always something to fix. So this is like a thing that I would suggest like doing, and then it makes it so you can kind of like go about these spots for yourself and be able to um, find your own answers on punishing spots where you're dropping things consistently. So it's like it is very very big. If we were to like watch a bunch of Zane VODs, like you would get it pretty fast. And like I know it sounds like goofy to say like, oh, how do you get good at Marth? Watch Zane lol. But like it's definitely there's definitely like a way to go about like cleaning up your punish where you just like um find the spots that you drop things, right? Because in the spots that you're comfortable, you destroy him. But you're just not comfortable in every spot, and you have to find the spots where you're dropping things for yourself. Alright, we're coming up on about an hour now. Do you have any questions?
Any questions? The Marth save state stuff?
Oh, yeah, here. I can send you the Discord, and then you can just download it directly from there. Do you know how to import things in a Slippy?
If it's just like a save state into Dolphin, should be straightforward.
Yeah, there's just like a thing you have to click on. I think there's a guide in this as well. So if you go into here, I'll send you this. Invite people. Search friends. Rundas. Hidden use copy button. Does this work? No. Okay. How do I invite you to the Discord? Do I have perms to do it? Invite people. Oh, it's because you have to like click your access to the server stuff. Okay, here. Why is this not working? I'm just gonna pull up the link. It's gotta be online. Marth, save state, Discord. Why can't I invite you to this? What? Is it here? Where did I find it? It's rules, coaching, other streaming, creativity, beginner questions, resources, save state server. Okay. So here's the save states, and after you go through the wibbly wobbly stuff in the Discord, if you go under official save states, you will see, where is it? Official save states, and you keep scrolling up. You'll see like Marth platform tech chase battlefield, Marth platform tech chase PS, Marth platform tech chase DL. And if I boot this up for you really quick, I'll kind of show you. So here's Uncle Punch. And I go in a training lab. I pick Marth or whatever, and then I go slot A, and then we go Pokemon Stadium, right? So it auto up throws him, and then it's up to me to try to hit the combo.
Oh, it's so useful.
Yeah, it's great. And if you do it right, he will not get a slide off, and he'll pop up like that. But it's like a tight window, so you can't get frustrated if you don't get it.
Yeah.
But also the other nice thing of this is he'll tech and play shine you for trying to do the late one, and then you have to be fast on it. You can also up tilt the tech and plays. Yeah, see, he's trying to slide off DI. As you can see by the fact that he is like ASDIing down. He's trying to slide off DI. But if I do it right, he pops up. That's me messing it up. That's me messing it up. That's me getting it. You could do other things with this too. You don't just have to use it for the slide off. Cause, like for instance, another thing you can do is you can practice this stuff.
Yeah, the platform tech chasing is one thing I've keeping my eye on recently. Was that's what that's what Marths do, and I need to do that myself.
The nil stuff.
That,
or just
but
everything?
also just general like platform tech chasing, like getting on the platform and just grabbing and stuff like that is something I tried to do very recent when I thought about it. I'm like, oh, let me just try it. And
so, an important thing for this is that you can see every time you tech and place shines, I get hit, right? So you cannot cover tech and place with this. It's honestly the same thing as just like doing this. It's just flashy and works at lower percents. But this is like a... So you know how whenever you're reaction tech chasing Fox, and you see them miss tech like repeatedly, and then you're going into like crouch tech chase mode, and then they dash behind you, and it's like frustrating, and then eventually you're just like, fuck it, I'm reading the miss tech, and you tipper them. And it's like it scares them out of miss teching. This is the version of that for trying to hit that up air and them trying to slide off DI. Is just doing this, and that's the situation. That's like the only situation I'd do it in. It's not like a general cover all thing like it is for Sheik in some matchups on some stages. It's really like it's really like a big like smixity thing that you do whenever you see them trying to execution test you too much. Also, you can tip or slide off, just if they die. Same thing, but yeah, I would generally have that mentality when going about it. And like you don't need to be able to do the nil stuff. Like I would not worry about it yet. I don't worry about it yet. Like it's hard. I'll do it when I want to be cool, but that's about it. You can just like wave land down and grab the roll.
Yeah, that it was not really the nil stuff, just the general platform.
Yeah, and, like you don't have to use the save state for it either, right? Like a lot of this stuff you can. It's actually better to practice without it. It's just the up air trying to hit the slide off. That's like why this is like useful. Because you'll notice after he like kind of stops DIing. But you can use it for all this stuff. You can also just like go in a training lab, come here, set Fox at a certain percent. If we want to make him like at 30, because that's kind of where everything's open to you. Set this, and then just like grab him here and try to deal with this super awkward like position for punishing him. Like he'll DI behind sometimes, and if I let me see if I can get it just to show you. Trajectory DI outwards. All right. Yeah, like this is what I was talking about, where you either up air rolls, or you can up air tech in place, or you can ferret here as well. And this is kind of generally how I'm going about punishing grabbing Fox in this awkward spot. And then if he DIs behind you, you can just like do this. But when you grab Fox, right, like it is up to him to decide how you're going to combo him, essentially. So you just have to be ready for them putting you in the spots that are like really awkward and not what you want.
Okay.
Anyways, we're at about an hour right now. Do you have any more questions or anything like that before I head out?
Uh, hmm. Nah, I don't really.
All right, word.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think of the lesson?
One, I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad.
I think you're a good teacher, you know?
Hell yeah, I appreciate
Like,
that.
like to me, I'm just like everything you're explaining is very clear and concise to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like I'm able to write down notes, and if I'm learning something and I just can't write down notes, that's not good.
Oh
The
yeah,
fact
for
I'm
sure.
able to, oh, it's perfect.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, anyways, I'm going to head out. You have a good night.
Alright.
I might be down to play in a bit if you want. I need Martha
Okay.
to practice really bad, so
Okay.
yeah. But I'm going to eat my food.
All right, enjoy the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, it's lit. Peace out.
See ya.
Well, that was a fun little lesson.